was it for Tupac. We'll keep following that story along with everything else. Now this one, Lenora, you said the Republicans are still trying to indict Biden.
Have him impeached.
But they can't find anything.
They can't find any evidence. They had 3-star witnesses up there. All 3 of them said there was no evidence. And people were like, you think you would talk to the star witnesses before they come in front of everybody.
Thank you.
Even Hannity said that with his big giant head.
I know.
Hannity said you think you would talk to him before you brought all of them up there.
That's how stupid they are with this, with their whole purpose. But The View kind of showed a clip of all the people who came forward to give reason why it's not strong enough to impeach him. And you wanted to give more. You wanted to do the spotlight on the black lady, the representative. They had her speak too.
All right, so let's see this. All right, let's see.
Clearly didn't understand the assignment of their own impeachment inquiry yesterday. Committee Chair James Comer kicked things off with some huge accusations that were immediately torn apart by their star witnesses, House Democrats, and some of their own GOP colleagues when it came to the impeachment of Joe Biden. Watch.
The House Oversight and Accountability Committee has uncovered a mountain of evidence revealing how Joe Biden abused his public office for his family's financial gain.
Here's what some
the video is showing
have had to say over the last week about the actions of the Republicans.
But I don't hear it.
Clown show.
Oh, that's right. I got my mute on my TV.
Terribly misguided. Stupidity.
I do not believe that the current evidence would support articles of impeachment.
Are you presenting any firsthand witness account of crimes committed by the President of the United States?
No, I'm not.
I will tell you what the president has been guilty of. He has unfortunately been guilty of loving his child unconditionally, and that is the only evidence that they have brought forward. And honestly, I hope and pray that my parents love me half as much as he loves his child.
Okay.
All right. So she's the one that I'm gonna highlight. Okay. She lit into them, boy. I told y'all.
That's the only thing that he's the crime that he's
I keep trying to tell y'all
is being a loving dad.
The black women
are coming out, aren't we?
I don't know.
That black woman ripped him up.
These black women in every state is after him.
I'm really thinking it's part of what the Bible even says about the last shall be first. And the first shall be last.
They destroyed those 2 black women's lives in Georgia.
They planted the seed right there. You planted a seed with a mother and a daughter that had nothing to do with their lives.
You planted a seed.
That's a black woman. Grandmother too.
Yeah. It was a grandmother.
So all the black, it's no coincidence that all black women are coming at them.
So this congresswoman
looking over her shoulder constantly, scared to come outside.
Yep. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, Democrat from Texas, called out the GOP for pursuing an impeachment inquiry into Biden while ignoring the evidence. This is pretty much what she was saying. You have the thing.
What?
The actual link I sent. Or is that just a picture?
It's not open. No.
Oh, that's just a picture? Oh, well then. What she basically said, y'all, was, you guys are so much into evidence, right? She printed out pictures of all the boxes from the files that was in Comover's house. And she was like, you're so into evidence. I'm just re-paraphrasing what she said.
Okay.
What about this? She's picking up pictures. What about this one? This one was in this, and she used the S word for the bathroom.
Oh,
S-I-T-C-H, the etter word. It rhymes with etter. The etter word.
Sugar honey iced tea.
Yes. She said, in other words, this was in the boo-boo room.
Wow.
But you guys are over here calling. Where's the evidence?
Thank you. That's all we want.
I want to go on record now. I'm just going to say this. I do believe Biden has,
He might have some ties, you think?
I do. But you gotta bring evidence.
Right.
You can't just say stuff.
That's how a court of laws work.
We're in the middle of a possible shutdown.
Thank you.
Something better to do.
That's what she said. That's how she ended her speech. Instead of doing that, how about keeping the government open?
Thank you.
They're like little babies.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Now they have to have evidence so they can bring this forth. But if they don't have strong evidence,
you gotta have evidence
to impeach a president. You just don't. Half the stuff that's going on with Trump. Wow, he would have been under the jail.
It's actually making Biden look better, if you ask me.
How is that?
Because it shows that if he is guilty, he's smart enough for you not to get any evidence. Where that comb over is a moron. He's telling everything. He did a speech today.
He did?
Yes, he was speaking today.
Threatening everybody like he threatened that general to wants him killed. How can you get away with this stuff? How can you say that? I don't understand. I'm confused.
He has
he
diarrhea.
Said he wants the man killed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has diarrhea of the mouth. That's what Sonny said on The View.
But why
diarrhea of the mouth.
Why is he still
He doesn't think as he talks. It's all about him anyway.
So he said today in his message, he was at California convention. He don't think Biden is gonna live.
You know what?
Like Biden is 10 years older than him. Biden is only 3 years.
Thank you.
Older than him. 3 years.
Thank you. And better.
He said he don't think he's gonna make
He's
it.
in better shape.
He said
I rides his bike. He walks, even though he falls sometimes.
He said I don't think he's gonna make it to the November.
Trump is out of shape.
And then he said the Democrats better get somebody else because this guy's not gonna make it.
So he's kind of like building on his base. That's how his base want him to talk. Yeah, he's on a stage like the comedians. I got an audience. Da, 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 da. Right. Biden's not going to make it. He's old.
You got Diane Feinstein, whatever her name is.
Yeah. Diane died today.
Passing away today. But 90 years old. Come on. She fell a while back. She was off her feet. She's done remarkable things. I have a lot of respect for her. She did great things. Mm-hmm. But 90, come on.
Yeah, she should have been gone a long time ago.
She didn't.
I say 70. They got to get on top of those term limits. It's too much.
Yeah, Diane should have been gone a long time ago. But
yeah.
I'm talking about not dead. I'm talking about out of her seat.
Right,
Corey says the courts were probably public. Emerald says that old man can't stay awake, let alone be involved in such an intricate scheme. So Emerald don't think that he's stay awake enough to be able to do a scheme.
I don't have a problem if they do find evidence.
He wasn't involved in anything.
Well,
used his father saying, "Well, I'm Joe Biden's son. I can do this and I can do that."
That's
the biggest thing he did. But his father did nothing but be a good father.
And what I like about what the Democrats did, because like I said, I'm not either Democrat or Republican, but what I like about what they did at that hearing is they made the Republicans look so stupid. And then they ended it by saying, okay, let's just say this. If Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and Trump are found guilty, everybody raise your hand if you feel like they should go to jail. All the Democrats raised their hand.
Oh, they did?
None of the Republicans raised their hand.
See, that's hypocritical.
So they said, see, they don't want justice.
They don't.
They don't want justice. Because we're saying if anybody's guilty,
either party,
raise your hand. Even they go to jail.
If they pull out even information from Hillary, bring her back in.
Everybody, you go to jail if you're guilty.
All of them.
They didn't raise their hand.
That's not right. That's not right.
They didn't raise their hand.
We wrestle not against flesh and blood,
but against principalities,
spiritual wickedness in high places, principalities.
Yep.
I mean, that's why darkness. It's so hard to get anything done.
That's the spirit, because you think about that same
fight. The demons are fighting.
Mm-hmm. That same spirit, Wendy, that was in the people that killed Jesus. He was the truth right in their face. He was the promise. He was. You guys knew I was coming.
But don't you think that was a...
No, we're going to kill you.
Don't you think that God allowed something to like blind them?
Oh yeah, because you mean
because it had to happen.
Yeah, it was a plan. It was, and it's so sad because God.
That's what I think this is.
He knows us better than we know ourselves. He knows our hearts better than we know our own hearts. So he knew the plan. He knew how man is.
So I tell people all the time. I tell my sons, the reason why Christ died on the cross in the first place is because he knew we would never get it right. We must strive to get it right every single day. But he knows we're unable to do it because we're human beings.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, how he judges us, I don't know.
Right.
But you got a couple of clues, like blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. And you got to hold on to those things to get through it, because you're messing up every other day. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Flesh
you got to remember,
like
I told you, I'm going through something physically. It's really awful. It's horrible, 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 horrible. And not many people have it, and you can't control it. But I keep telling myself in my ears, His great God's grace is sufficient. God's grace is sufficient. God's grace is sufficient. I have to keep telling myself that, or I wouldn't make it. So since we're not perfect, we have to grab a couple of these promises and have them burn down in our hearts, so they just come out.
Yeah.
I think the best thing, all of us do something well, and I think the best thing in quality I have is mercy. So when I get in a bind, I remind God, Lord, have mercy, blessed are the merciful. That's basically what it's about. We've got to make this real, because these demons in the White House are too evil. For 4 years since COVID, we've seen how evil they are.
Horrible.
And we think for 1 minute we're going to beat them by anything but prayer. Our
That's
weapons
it.
are not carnal, but spiritual, mighty in the Lord, to the pulling down of strongholds. This is a stronghold.
It's a stronghold.
This is why they're 90 years old. This is why they keep talking about the laws of the founding fathers, who, by the way, were all slave owners, because it's a stronghold.
Right.
You can see it when they're in there in those meetings. Don't they look stern and, like full of themselves and privileged? It's a stronghold.
I agree.
And Christians need to come together, whether they know each other or not. And every night, just pray about it every single night.
What will it take? What will it take? Like you saying, if my people who are called by my name, what will it take for the people of God who claims that they are of God?
But they the ones that
believe in the power of prayer. No, I'm talking about the real people of God, people who, like he said, those that worship me must worship me in spirit and in truth. There's a lot of people out there that are saying they know him, and he's going to say, depart from me, you do of iniquity. I never knew you. That scripture would always shake me up, because they using his name, they're claiming his name, but he says, depart from me. I don't know you. You didn't spend time with me. You calling me your savior, your Lord. You don't even talk to me half the time. And that's scary.
All I want to hear is, well done, my good and faithful servant. That's all I want to hear. But there are times, like I said, what I'm going through now, you're like, where's God? Where is God? Where are you? And then it came in my head, God's grace is sufficient. You're alive. You don't have something that's going to kill you.
That's what I was saying too, Wendy, about people don't get so hyped up with who's going to win.
Right.
God has He has a plan for you.
Right.
It doesn't matter who's in
office,
whether it's Trump, whether it's Biden.
Right. You're absolutely right, because when Trump was in office, I'm like, why in the world would God allow this? But he wanted to expose what's really out there, so we could see. We know racism's been out there for years. But man, Trump opened that thing up. I mean, think about all the people that died because he said COVID wasn't real. He gets away with all these little things, like he threatened this man. He just gets away with everything. Why isn't somebody on top of that? You can't just threaten. I can't just threaten you. I can't say, I hope somebody kills you. And he knows when he says it, those MAGA people, somebody's going to feed into it. That man said he's getting threats every day.
Every day.
Wow.
Emerald says we just have to be in prayer.
On his family.
Oh. Emerald says we just have to be in prayer for others and have our salvation in order. That's it.
Because his word says to pray for those that rule over us.
I tell my son, when you wake up in the middle of the night, you woke up for a reason. Pray.
See a new day.
For yourself, for the world, for your best friend, for yourself, for me. When you wake up in the morning, pray. Not only will you do some good, you will fall back to sleep.
All right, so you teaching them right.
Train up a child.
I'm just
My mother said, pray without ceasing.
That's right. That's right.
Emerald says, I agree, Wendy. He did his best. Our children are going to do what they are going to do. So she's saying what you're saying. He's just a good dad, like what this black lady said. And he was supporting his son. That's why he was calling them all the time.
You want to cover them. And like you just said, if they ask the question to these politicians, if all of them are found guilty in anything, you know, justice should be for all of them.
I really believe in my heart that Hunter Biden's problems come from the murder of, the killing of his mother and his sister in that car accident.
Yeah.
He was just a child.
That messed him up.
He was old enough to remember. I remember what was going on when I was 7. He remembers that. He missed her. He didn't know what to do with it. That evolved.
Yeah.
I really believe that's what's wrong with him.
That shattered his spirit when that happens. When you lose a parent as a kid,
and a baby,
that shatters
and a baby sister, your baby sister.
Yes.
You as a little boy, you want to protect that little girl.
Yes.
I think that had a lot.
And then the brother dying later on.
Yeah, his other brother dies later. So
But
he's probably...
He need to check himself and get in a relationship with his child. Maybe some of this will come off.
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of this is karma.
A lot of this is you acting like you don't know who this child is. You're trying to make him change the name. You better get it right, buddy.
Yeah, you reap what you sow.
All right. Emma says, just pray through our day and have conversations with God.
Get to know him.
Yep.
Because he'll sustain you.
So that's my whole thing that I just want to make sure we get out. Even when we talk about Trump and whatever, I don't want people to get so like they're going to end up killing themselves if he becomes president.
I know.
It's like your life doesn't end.
Well, I'm not going to kill myself, but I do have a bottle of wine.
I know.
I don't really drink. I'm one of those Christmas birthday drinkers.
Right.
I get a glass of wine.
Everybody has to pull it out
all night.
That's right.
I don't like to taste the liquor.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
More on him. Fulton County.
What's about it?
Well, you know that the first two.
Change the photo.
Oh, the first two